DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down. Handoff. Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It is a terrific Thursday edition of Talkin Cowboys, presented by Tostitos, helping fans get in on the game and our favorite chip and our favorite dip of Talkin Cowboys. Welcome into the SWBC studios here at the Star in Frisco. It is a Thursday edition of Wild Card Weekend.
Heck yes.
Playoffs are here. Woo. We are just 3 days away from the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Gosh, that sounds fun. Cannot wait for that matchup on Sunday, 3:30 Central Time, CBS. It's going to be awesome. Lots of fun. We're back here with the normal crew, Heckma Harrison, Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips, Chris Beam, Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good. Swelltastic.
Yes. I'm just okay today, Kyle.
Why is that?
Because my team lost yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. The Seattle Kraken.
You're darn right they lost.
They weren't cracking.
No.
Yeah, they weren't cracking. There's some crack, but they're not in. But it just wasn't the way it needed to be. But my son and I win. We represented, for my hometown. He's a Dallas guy, which is kind of weird to say.
So you're not letting him be a Stars fan?
No, he's a Stars fan when
He
they're
said
not
he
playing.
likes both. I asked him.
When they're not playing the Kraken.
So he had to wear the merch. He had to wear.
He wanted to.
Okay.
I don't make him do anything.
Okay. That's fair.
Stars got the win last night over the Kraken. So
At one point, I turned the game on, and it was like 8 shots, 3 goals for the Stars. I didn't like that average for the Kraken.
Our goalie's trash.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But
Expansion.
go Stars.
Only up from here for the Kraken.
Suit him up. I know Heckman watched the whole game.
Oh, he was locked in, right?
Yeah. Why y'all put me into this, man? I told you yesterday, man.
We're gonna get you to a game now.
I will have my gloves, scarf, and
It's not cold in there.
You,
It was pretty cool.
me, and Spagnola. Let's go.
Oh, that's a
would
group
be
right
up
there now.
through.
That's a group right there.
You buying all the beers?
Could you imagine all the pictures that would surface from that pairing?
I just want to see
the
Mick's face,
selfies.
You got to put Mickey in the middle.
No, I think
Like
it's
a
gonna
middle
be,
seat.
It's going to be fun, y'all. And what happened yesterday was after I said I didn't know anything, then obviously Twitter takes over, and then you start hearing, people, this game you got to get into. You open your horizon to hockey. And okay.
It's true. People love their hockey. Yeah. It's a fantastic sport. It's I think in my opinion, outside of racing, it's the best sport to watch live. I love watching hockey live.
And when you think about the most disgruntled people in your life that would be in the middle seat, who picture pops up?
You talk about like
Mickey's
on an
up there.
airport.
Mickey has to be out there.
Love the man, but he's up there. He loves his hockey, though, because he's from Chicago.
Hey, from Chicago, the Blackhawks.
Yep.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the Blackhawks. He's
a huge Stars fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had season tickets
Massive
for the Stars
traitor.
forever. He's a traitor, man. I'm a Blackhawks
Call
fan.
him that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from
Who
Chicago.
has the best uniforms in the league?
Blackhawks, 100%.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
They're sweet, but they're not. I mean, they're not like Kraken.
Oh, my God.
By the way, last night we were having a conversation while we were sitting there. I know it's all different because you've played in a playoff game. I think both of you have been to a playoff game. I know you have. I'm sure you have for the NFL. I had never been to an NFL playoff game before. I'll be there on Sunday.
Of find out.
Yeah, it's completely different because I've been to a hockey playoff game, Stars playoff game, and then I've been to the Rangers, like baseball, and I've done a couple other World Series, ALCS stuff in the past too. And those are just completely different atmospheres.
Yes.
So how much is it ramped up from an NFL standpoint?
Well, Isaiah could answer that better than I could for sure. But I was listening to Babe Laufenberg, the great Babe Laufenberg, on the Fan just now, and he was talking about how in the NBA playoffs, you watch a game on TV, you know it's a difference. There's just a difference in intensity and all of that. He said the NFL playoffs, you don't really notice it as much. And I don't know about that. I think especially in the stadium, there's a different vibe. I would imagine it's way more physical. So, and CeeDee Lamb was talking about this yesterday. You know, nobody's really talked to him about what to expect for his first playoff game, but the speed and the physicality have got to be different, right?
Absolutely. I'm not sure what Babe. I respect the heck out of Babe as well, but I don't know what he was talking about in reference to this. Playoff football is totally different than regular season football. Now, when you start talking about the difference, when you start looking at the magnitude, or I guess the separation from a regular season game to a playoff game, I would definitely say that basketball probably has the most dramatic change, because seemingly during the regular basketball season, they just seemingly don't care much.
That's a great point.
And then when they go to the playoffs, it's like, oh, we're playing for real.
We're playing defense.
Yeah. In the NFL, guys are playing their tails off during the year, and it just gets intensified in the playoffs. So if that's the angle he's taking, then I can agree with him. But other than that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, playoff basketball, obviously every possession matters as well, but I think it slows down a little bit for NBA basketball. But from my experience, I just see, like, it seems like night and day from the way that plays are executed, from the way that guys are running, the way the guys are hitting. There's that added incentive, obviously, because guys are playing for the Lombardi.
How much?
He might have meant TV. If you're watching on TV, I think that's what he meant. You don't really notice a huge difference.
Makes sense.
But I think on the field, and he's been there too, there's definitely a difference.
Well, and on the sideline, the fans are going to certainly play a massive impact into that as well. How much do the fans really play into the energy of the players? When you're in a playoff mode like that.
Yeah, when you're at home, it can be a huge advantage. So I think there's a word of a whiteout.
Yes.
So Cowboys fans, show up and show out. It matters. You can make a big difference in this game. Guarantee you. Offensively, when Dallas is on offense, shh, quiet. All right. When those guys get in the huddle, not when they break the huddle, when they get in the huddle and they're trying to communicate offensively for the 49ers, get loud and get nasty, because you can feel energy. Right. There's a difference between hearing and like music, right? White man can't jump. You're hearing Jimmy. You're not listening. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between hearing something and
I can hear Jimmy.
There's a difference between hearing it and feeling it. You feel music when you have bass in there, right? You don't feel music when you just have treble. So we need all the bass you have at AT&T Stadium.
And that's while they're in the huddle, right? That's where you do the most disruption.
Damage, yeah.
It's not while they go up to the line.
I mean, line of scrimmage is effective as well, but people don't understand that majority of the information is getting conveyed in the huddle. Now, once you break the huddle, now they're making alterations, they're making changes, right? So that's still important to be loud at that time. But when you really want to disrupt some things, and I'm trying to talk to you guys in a tight knit circle, be as loud as you can and play a game of telephone. Let you miss something. Let you miss something in the huddle, and all of a sudden you're going out thinking one play and you're going out thinking another. That's going to be some problems.
And some of the greatest stadiums, and I'm just thinking about the Seattle 12th man, like the way that they are. Anytime Seattle, back in the day when Seattle had the home field advantage, you just did not want to go see Seattle, because you know that noise was going to be a problem, and there's no way to prepare for that kind of stadium noise. And I think that's the advantage that Cowboy fans have been wanting for this team for years, man, to be able to tell other teams that you're going to get a rude awakening when you come to AT&T Stadium. So that's why this whiteout is so important. That's why, what you just said, man, being rowdy, being loud, and hell, just knowing that when they're in the huddle, it's your time to disrupt their hearing.
How many players did we hear talk about during the COVID, obviously the first COVID year, when fans couldn't come to the games, they were talking about the difference between playing games with no fans there versus playing the games with fans. It's major.
With like 30,000.
It feels like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
It feels like a scrimmage versus a real game. So when you talk about my ability now to make more plays, my ability to run faster, to be more explosive, to be stronger. When's the last time you seen somebody max out in the weight room in college and that the whole team wasn't around? You just like you're powered up. Like, you're powered up. So fans, understand the role that you play. Get some rest the night before. Don't be kicking it the night before.
You're part of this thing.
Get some rest. Hey, come to the Miller Lite, where we're going to be at on the pregame show. Get your Miller Lights and go ahead and, continuity. We'll say it 1,000 times so y'all can go ahead and be nice and lathered up. Come up in that place and keep it rocking, because I guarantee the louder you are, the better your Cowboys will play.
And there's probably, 50,000 people that'll watch, or we'll get 50,000 views on this episode or something like that. Just throwing the numbers out there. But that means that there's probably a good chance there are a good chunk of Talkin Cowboys fans that are going to be in AT&T Stadium that day. So you tell your friends.
Yeah.
Get your section involved.
Yeah.
Get everybody involved.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Spread the news. This is a team effort, not only from the guys that are across the building from us right now, but from all of those that are going to show up at AT&T Stadium on Sunday.
You should have to opt out of your webinar the next day.
We need to get one of those like excuses.
Turn your video camera off.
The video camera can be on, but the voice.
Then I may have to opt out on Monday.
Exactly.
We're gonna come in here and Heckma's just gonna be sitting
We're
down.
gonna have Morse code set up for Heckma. Okay, so all your Morse code people out there.
That's what it's gonna be.
He's gonna have his hands up in the air.
That's it. Get him up. Get him
up in the air.
Go, Greg.
Oh man, it's gonna be a ton of fun. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that we all get to be there and we're gonna have some fun with it on Sunday. So, gonna be a blast. And like I said on the show yesterday, if you are out there, come say hi. We'd love to interact and have some fun with you guys. And we got some swag that we're gonna hand out throughout as well. So we've got some stuff that we're gonna have out there too. All right, Rob. News and notes. We're a little later on that today, but the Cowboys were back on the practice field yesterday.
Yes, they were. And they were outside, at least for the early portion, then they went inside for team stuff. Sean Wright did not practice for personal reasons, had a personal matter to attend to, and that was the only active roster player who did not practice yesterday. Tyron Smith got back on the field. He was limited. Tony Pollard had full participation. Keanu O'Neal was limited. And the only player left, I believe, on the COVID list is Jerron Kearse, and they think maybe he could be back today. So we'll see about that. As far as the 49ers go, they got a lot of guys on their list. They rested some guys, including Nick Bosa yesterday. Trent Williams, with the elbow injury, did not practice. I think people generally think he'll be back in the lineup Sunday, but that's something to monitor. You know, how functional can he be with that elbow injury? So that's probably the biggest one of note for them.
He's quite possibly. We didn't get to talk about him or really George Kittle a whole lot yesterday, but Trent Williams is quite possibly the best left tackle in the league. I mean,
one of the highest paid.
Yes.
Legitimately, he is pound for pound.
Yeah, he's
probably the best one.
You can even see his presence in the game last week on the sideline. Yeah. You can see his presence. Like some of your guys run off the field and you can see him like big brother and cast like, yeah, that's right. Let's go. And you could just see it in his eyes. Like he wanted to be out there so bad, but he was just like, I'll be back. He's Debo. Yeah, boy's Debo. So I'm looking forward to seeing him against.
Not Debo Samuel.
No, he's not Debo Samuel. He's a real Debo. He's the squeaky bike Debo. That's him over there on the left side protecting Garoppolo's backside. But I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup. I don't think we've seen that dominant left tackle this year.
Yeah. I mean, they still had close to 500 yards without him. So, I mean, even what difference would he make? Obviously, a big one, tremendous for their offensive line. And you know, we talked about. I thought we talked about Kittle and his, you know, what he does.
We talked about it a little bit.
But you.
Oh no.
I went back and watched the tape.
What'd you think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to go on the other side of the building.
Let's not jump out of the cake real quick. We'll talk about that in the break. Yeah.
This is Teddy KGB. He's got those are poke. Okay,
a little
jump out of the cakes today, guys.
Yep.
Just saying.
Let's not let him.
It's
fix
there
that.
though. Yeah, exactly.
Let's not let him fix that.
Come on.
I had an I'll be there moment.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I love
about
it.
to cut you off.
Chris B wants a dub. Kind of going back to the practice modes and what we were talking about. So this is going to be probably the last real practice that they'll have heading into the matchup. So you want Jerron Kearse out there. If he's not out there today, and we'll talk about whether he is or not tomorrow, but if he's not out there today, is that an indication on what he's going to bring to the table?
Not necessarily. I mean, Mike was asked yesterday because he was dealing with a hammy previously, and I think he was asked, is it more of the COVID stuff? And he said, yeah. So I think, you know, they're confident he can clear that, and then it's a conditioning matter. How's his conditioning? You know, Micah Parsons came back yesterday, said he feels great, doesn't have any conditioning issues. Apparently, had some cold symptoms, kind of like everybody feels like this time of year. You get some sniffles, you think, oh, what is this? Allergies, cold. That's what he was dealing with. But he's back. He feels good. And he says the line can't be bullied.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah, no.
What's going on with Neil again?
he's listed with a chest elbow injury. Remember, he was all taped up in the game against Philly and fought through it, and they took him out.
That's significant. But please go back to the comment, man, about him being from West, was it from PA? And he says, where I'm from, the bullies get bullied.
There's a bully in every gym.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everything that Micah says,
His mind says, I love it, dude.
is just exactly what everybody wants to hear. But the thing is you hope that continues and the play continues, because if he's saying that same kind of thing and then the play drops off, then it's kind of
This dude is he's a fresh Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm. That's what we needed. That's what we needed, and we got it.
That's what he said. He said, I feel like I'm coming off the bye week.
But after he came off the bye week, he was
balled out.
After the bye week.
Heckma said it earlier in the week. You were like, well, now that he's got a week of rest and you're going up against San Francisco, you think San Francisco's excited about seeing?
No, I mean, like I said, man, Shanahan has been staying up some nights just trying to figure out where Dan Quinn is going to place number 11. And, I think him being off the ball he's going to wreck shop in that running game. I mean, and so many people think that they can just run right at him. I hadn't seen any evidence that he can't take on the run.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing that he's considered to be light.
People are fishing
what
right
are you talking about? Like
he wears number 11, but he plays like a guy who wore number 9. And the guy I'm talking about is a water boy.
Okay, when you said number 9, I'm like,
the guy I'm talking about
don't you dare say
no.
Jim.
He plays like the water boy, and you're talking about a guy who hates to come out the game on series. Yeah. Now you forced him to sit out for an entire week, or for a game that he was healthy enough to play. Oh, he is
had a chance to break some records.
Oh my gosh! And I hope that somebody on the offensive line says something of the likes of "water sucks." I hope somebody says something like that, because if they say that, he's gonna go ham. H2O.
No, I don't.
High quality.
I don't know where you get these comparisons
Dude,
from.
you remember how dominant the water boy was?
He was.
That's going to be Micah Parsons.
It's going to be Micah.
Dude, no, I'm trying to find this. When he came in here for his draft press conference the day after they picked him, he said, like, I want to play like the water boy. C-ball, kit ball, or whatever. And that he damn sure has.
Yeah, no, he definitely has. One of the best rookie seasons on the defensive side of the football in years, all time, honestly, the way that he played in the regular season. Now he's got a chance to compound that into the playoffs. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, it is time to preview the Cowboys offense versus the San Francisco defense. Nick Bosa and company come to town, but can the Cowboys take advantage of the secondary? When we come back with more Talkin' Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Varilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar, and a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere, and a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf. the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done,
get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
It's a great people, great pay replay here on Talkin' Cowboys. You've heard it already, but Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. You can join him to do great work with great people for great pay and apply right now at jobs@caliber.com. That's jobs@caliber.com. Oh, my God.
Oh, wait.
Did it get thick? Oh. Did you go to the cash machine?
What was that?
I didn't go to Kinko's. Which one was
That's
it?
the ATM right there, boy.
Yeah.
Felt the whole
Robert,
earth
how many,
shake.
can we ask, how many cards are in there?
Oh, God.
Library cards, debit cards, IDs.
Probably 75.
I got like gift cards.
There's
in
a
there
lot of
from
business cards in there.
2015.
Yeah, business cards. I got hotel keys from like 2013.
So if we got you a business card holder, would that cut that problem? Would that negate that?
No,
Or?
I just need to use the money clip that Chris got me, and I need to get a wallet with what you got me. So
I have an idea.
I just need to clean it out. I need spring cleaning is what I need.
I have a proposal for you.
Yes.
How about you use the money clip for all those business cards?
Okay.
Okay, and get the wallet obviously to hold all your cards and cash.
That's a great idea. Chris, you okay with that?
Yeah, I got another money clip in here if you need it.
Double that.
Got a whole another one back. I love it. So tomorrow's the day. That's what we're doing?
I'm going to do it Saturday.
He does not want to come off of this thing at all.
I just got things. I got things going.
We've got something fun. We've got something fun coming up tomorrow, by the way.
What's that?
What you got?
We are all going to get to partake in something extremely rare. Our friends at Lay's have hooked us up.
You don't say.
Tostitos. Ooh. Yeah, we have been hooked up. So we get some rarity tomorrow.
In a dip.
Greatness tomorrow. I'll bring what it is, and I'll tease it a little bit more in the third segment here in a minute.
Carbs.
Yes,
know, right?
plenty of carbs.
One day.
I'm on my fat rep seat now. This is when they want to do this. Now they want to bring some chicken.
They're the good carbs.
Okay, all right.
So they're carbs of champions. Let's just say it that
okay,
way.
I like that.
It's good.
How about that? It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Defense v. offense. San Francisco bringing Nick Bosa and company into town. But just how formidable is the San Francisco defense? You saw them kind of limit Matthew Stafford down the stretch in Week 18. They've done that to a couple good teams throughout the year. But, Heckma, I'll start with you on this one. What is the scariest part of the 49ers defense, and what is the weak spot?
Well, the scariest part of their defense is definitely up front. They have a guy by the name of Nicholas Bosa that is probably keeping Kellen Moore up right now as well. They're strong up front. Eric Armstead, they have so much. DJ Jones, Quintavious Street. These are just big bodies that they have up front. Fred Warner, their linebacker. He's a hitting machine, and he's like some of the linebackers that you've seen all year. The guy's good run stuffer, really athletic on the outside. Greenlaw, guys like that, Tart. They're just hard-hitting, athletic, and you can tell that they believe in these guys, the way that they set them up and scheme up front. But the weakest part of their defense is the back half. They have a rookie, rookie cornerback that I believe that you're going to be able to take advantage of, and I believe this Emmanuel Mosley is the rookie from Michigan. They do have Josh Norman, but it looks as though Josh Norman hadn't been getting any action, so I don't know what's going on with Josh.
Yeah, he didn't play last week.
But he's healthy. He's healthy, but they're going away from him. And look, for me, and just evaluating these guys and going back to that Rams game, which I looked at, Isaiah, I just think that Kellen Moore even though you see where their weaknesses are, Kellen Moore has to try his damnness to stay balanced in this game. No matter what. You're still going to have to rely on this running game at some point. I know that the temptation to air them out, as we've been talking about, is going to be there, but the balance is going to have to be there as well. But again, it's their front seven. It's very stout and athletic, and look, they're going to pose a lot of problems for us up front.
I agree. I think obviously with Nick Bosa, he's obviously the goon on that side of the ball, but also the person that stands out, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correct, is Eric. It's just with an A.
Eric Armstead.
Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure with the E and an A. Eric Armstead. He stands out to me. He seems like the go juice on that defensive line. Now Nick Bosa gets a lot of the attention because he gets the big plays, big sacks, but the disruptor on that defensive line is Armstead, and he gets in there. He is, and it's kind of a problem because he's going to be on that left side, and that left side we know has been exposed in terms of Connor Williams and in terms of Tyler Biadasz. Those are our two youngest offensive linemen, the least experienced offensive linemen. I don't think either one of them has. I know neither one of them has had a playoff game. So those are the guys that you have to be concerned about in terms of this defensive line. I'm not too concerned about Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa. I'm not too concerned about him. I keep messing up on the Bosas. A lot of them out there. Yeah. But I'm not too concerned about him. I feel fully confident that whatever side he wants to go to, he will be handled by an all-pro left tackle or right tackle. I feel perfectly fine with that. But that Armstead, we've seen disruptors on the interior defensive line against this Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Connor Williams kind of got back to some of his ways last week in terms of some holding, and I'm just worried about that portion of the offensive line and him disrupting things internally as we try to get a run game established.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. And another guy, too, Arden Key. He's a guy, defensive end, part of their rotation. They'll rush him inside. And so that's a matchup. The interior of the Cowboys offensive line, we've talked about it against certain matchups. The Rams, Bucks, they could be issues in terms of pass rush. And I think the 49ers qualify there, too. So, yes, their front seven. In the back end, they're getting some guys back. Kawan Williams should be back from the reserve COVID list. They got Mosley back last week. So they're getting a little healthier back there. But it does come down to there are options for the Cowboys on the outside in the receiving game. Is Dak going to be comfortable enough to do that? I mean, every game's different, but the 49ers had 28 pass pressures in that game against the Rams, and they held the Rams running backs to 1.7 yards per carry in that game last Sunday. So to Heck's point, can they get it established? Will they stick with it? Could it be a week one situation where Kellen says, I'm not going to bang my head against the wall? I don't think you can do that. I think you got to try to establish something. Like Isaiah said, you don't want Dak having to throw 40, 50 times a game.
And Thomas is the rookie from Michigan, not Mosley.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The thing that they did really well against the Rams last week, and the Rams just kept beating their head against the wall, San Francisco decided to play man. They decided to play man, and they played a soft man, which means that they were playing 5-6 yards off, allowing the guys to run down the field before anybody got in their hands on them. And one thing that they did, and we're talking about this in film room, you guys will be able to check that out, but their interior defensive linemen pinched. They pinched, and when those two defensive linemen pinched on the interior, it consumed 3 offensive linemen. So when you take their two defensive tackles, they literally just crunch them down and they shoot the gaps. They shoot the A gaps, which now binds the center and both guards. Well, if the center and both guards are now blocking 2 guys, you have islands on the outside with your defensive ends and your tackles, right? And now you're putting Bosa in a position where he can win, right? If Bosa wins 3 times out the game, that's disruption. That's huge disruption. If he beats one of the tackles, right, gets a sack or 2 in a game, that's major. Right, so that's what they did on third down, and instead of just taking the short slants, the quick screen plays on the outside, LA kept trying to push the ball down the field, and these guys were playing soft. So all they were doing is sitting back on their back leg, letting the defensive ends go ahead and work on the defense on the offensive tackles, and then they either got pressure or he held the ball so long that they finally got to him, or he was throwing bad balls down the field where he really didn't have the opportunity to have open guys. So you have to take it. If they want to play soft defense, get our guys the ball early. Kellen Moore, don't try to force this thing down the field. Take the 5-yard hitch. Take the slant. Take the one-step slant. Take the screen plays and let your guys get some yak yardage, because if you play their game, if you play into their hand where it's like, hey, we're still going to throw this ball down the field because our guys are better than your guys, they will bait you. Yep. It's like the doggone dollar bill on a string on some tape. They'll bait you now. You keep chasing that thing, they'll finally get you.
And they did that better as the season went along as well. Kind of like how the Cowboys did. They had that big stretch right in the middle where they were forcing all the turnovers, the takeaways, the sacks, the pressure was all there. That was the 49ers defense from weeks 10 through 18, because weeks 1 through 9, they were giving up 25 points per game. They were 3-5 overall, right? The final 9 weeks of the season, they were 7-2, giving up 18 points per game, and they were top 5 in scoring, sacks, and takeaways in those weeks in the NFL.
Their defensive line might be the strength of their entire team.
Yes.
I mean the running game, obviously, but it's been the key to their turnaround, and it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of the same with the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys' front pressure makes you feel like they can disrupt any quarterback they play in these playoffs.
And a defense's best friend is a great running back. And the emergence of Deebo Samuels is what really helped them out and kept them fresh because of the time of possession. I think when I think about Dak in this game, all I'm saying to him is take what's there. If it opens up for you to run it instead of taking that 30-yard shot, take that 5 yards, get that first down, and come back and get it down the wait. You'll get a fresh set of downs to get an opportunity to do it again. And that's why I say, when Kellen Moore being in his bag, things like that, just you don't have to bring the biggest bag. You don't have to, don't
just have your best stuff.
Yeah, have your best stuff. But I'm saying like the gadget stuff, all the craziness. Let's
trying to bring his carry-on instead of
instead of
the full-blown luggage.
Well, and to your point, like Dak has talked about how like sometimes I'm greedy, and they're so confident in their weapons that they will try to push the ball down the field, and it gets frustrating. Like we'll see how they play them, but some of that soft stuff, they get tired of that. They get tired of checking it down to Schultz all the time.
It takes patience, right? And that's when we start talking about that intelligence, right? That football IQ and understanding. We've sat here on this show many times and said this team is willing to be patient. The team this opponent that we're facing is willing. This opponent that we're about to face right now is willing to run the ball to a fault.
Yeah.
They will come out. They have no problems running 15 plays on a drive. They are not tripping.
Yeah.
They don't give a doggone.
Yeah.
Some teams can't do that. Some teams, let's go ahead and call it. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore doesn't like to do that. He doesn't like to come out and run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Oh, you guys want him to load up the box? Now I'll throw the ball. Now I'll throw the ball. Kellen Moore's like, run the ball. Okay, I checked that off. Crap, I want to throw. Yeah. I want to throw. And he has to fight that. That is something that he has to fight.
Is that panic?
I don't think it's panic. I think it's comfort. I think it's comfort.
Okay.
There are coaches that are cut from a cloth, Shanahan, where, listen up, I was taught to run the ball.
Yeah.
What I grew up around, my dog and my pops ran the ball, and he threw the ball off his run, right? Kellen Moore didn't grow up in that. Where did Kellen Moore grow up? Boise State. What did they do?
Throw that thing.
Air raid.
So you have tendencies, right? We have tendencies and things that you lean on. That's your comfort. That's what you're going to go to. And that is no different than a basketball player, right? Guess what? Shaq ain't about to step out and shoot a jump shot. Shaq going to back you down. Why? Because that's his comfort zone.
One of the biggest mismatches I think for us in this game are going to be our tight ends. I think their aggressiveness, the way that the 49ers play, it leaves them susceptible in the middle of the field and on the outside. And you saw that with the Rams. They took full advantage of that. The other thing is going to be Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is going to play a big part of this game in the passing game. Getting to the outside is fine. Using his speed is well and good. But on those screen patterns, or just when he scrapes through the middle and underneath, that's going to be big for Tony Pollard because of the way that they're lining up. He's going to catch the ball, and he's going to have plenty of room to create himself. So
there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him in the short passing game. And when I say in the short, and Zeke too, in terms of checking your protection, because they don't blitz a lot. Check your protection and sit right over the ball, or sit just outside the tackles, right in that box. Whenever you see those running backs come up, they check their protection. They don't have anybody to block. Boom! Now I'm turning around. That right there, Dak, please take it. Take it. Let your guys get the yak yardage. That will be as much of an impact in this game as it would be if you were to throw the ball 40 yards down the field to CD.
I love it. I love this matchup more than even the other side of the football. I think the other side of the football, defense versus their offense, is going to be a ton of fun, but it goes back to what Heckman said yesterday. This is where the rubber meets the road, and I can't wait for those two to go after it. Because Nick Bosa, he had a career year. His stats and his sacks may not be the same, but
tackles for
pressures, TFLs.
That was a stat from Babe this morning on the Fan. He's right there. He's above Micah in tackles for. I think him and TJ Watt are right there.
And that's saying a lot.
Shows something.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot. And even going back, if you go over the games that we've played before, and talking about Nick Bosa, Matt Judon. You know, you've come against this style of a guy that can pressure you, that moves around. Now, Matt Judon stands up, does some other things as well. He's very flexible and hybrid, but Nick Bosa is a threat. And I do agree with you. I don't worry about him as much on the outside with our guys, but you hit the nail right on the head. If we do not get hands on Eric Armstead, he can be a disruptor in this game.
They can all be disruptors, and it's the same thing whenever the Cowboys go up to the line of scrimmage on the defensive line. But they have dudes all the way across. Yeah,
strength on strength.
That's why it's the playoffs. All right, when we come back, how much pressure is on Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb to present that deep game against a secondary that looks a little susceptible? When we come back with more Talking Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
And go. Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more, Essilor here on Talking Cowboys. Sorry about that, guys. I ran into a hiccup on the way up there.
You hiccuped on the way up there?
I hiccuped a couple times. Yeah, so our friends over at Tostitos and Lay's, they have gone nowhere where no chip has gone before.
Oh, okay.
They have created Golden Grounds. They are potato chips in a select number of bags, 200 to be exact, where they have taken the soil from whatever practice facility or game field of each NFL team, and they have grown their potato chips out of the soil. So they've called them Golden Grounds. We have one of those 200 bags.
You don't say.
We're going to open it up tomorrow on the show.
All right.
Yeah. They're giving away 5 bags to fans. And we'll tell everybody how they can be a part of that. But, yeah. What? What are you looking at me for, Heckma? They're Golden Grounds.
No doubt.
Yeah. No, it's great. We're going to get to have a chance to show some Golden Grounds. To win one of the exclusive bags, all you need to do is follow @Lays on Twitter. Use the hashtag Lays Golden Grounds, hashtag Dallas Cowboys, and hashtag sweepstakes in your entries on Twitter for a chance to win one of those prestigious bags.
Am I eligible? Can I?
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living my life like it's
So
golden.
the question that I have, you were saying that they're making what now?
Potato chips.
No. Yes, it's Lay's. So that's what they do. But it's out of
So basically, they take the dirt from the soil of like stadiums or practice facilities. Obviously, they can't take the dirt from AT&T Stadium because
it's artificial.
It's artificial,
right?
And some stadiums are. So they take that dirt, they grind it all up, put it in a field, and they grow potato chips out of that dirt.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The potatoes.
I did not
the
catch
potatoes.
So the potatoes and that dirt they make.
Because all I'm thinking about is just opening the chips.
No.
Oh yeah, no. It's a real potato chip. It's a Lay's potato chip.
Okay.
But then it's just grown from the dirt. These 200 bags are being grown from the dirt that were out on the practice field. The Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott run around on and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jason Witten always said the secret's in the dirt.
So there you go. Something.
I like that.
So when you're eating these potato chips, if there's a cleat in there, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The cleat.
Yeah, I doubt that's the case, but I've got one of these prestigious bags. My hiccup that I had is because it's so prestigious, I locked it in my desk. And when I ran up there to go grab it, my keys are sitting right here. Oh, so I didn't get a chance to grab it. So I grabbed the reed instead. But yeah,
so you actually have a bag.
Yeah.
That. Oh wow.
I was going to bring it down and show you, and we're going to open the bag on the show tomorrow.
And it could be the chips that were grown from the dirt from outside.
No, it is the chips
from
Dallas.
from the dirt that's
Dallas
grown
dirt.
on the outside.
You first.
Dallas Golden Nuggets.
Love it.
But yeah, we're going to have some fun with that tomorrow. Final segment here of Talking Cowboys. We've got Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam. I'm Kyle Yeomans. All right, Rob Phillips.
Rob P.
How much pressure is on CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper to present as those number one wide receivers that they are on Sunday?
I think there's always pressure, but I think they've got to hit some chunk plays in this game. I don't think you want to just have to drive the length of the field like they've been doing. And we'll see how they play him. You know, if is it going to be that soft coverage or if they're going to try to play him a little tighter. But I wanted to ask you guys because I was off last week and there's been this, I don't know how much y'all discussed Amari Cooper last week in terms of why isn't he getting the ball more? What's the reason for it?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay. I mean, has he been bracketed as much as people think? Because he says it's not so much that. Do they need to make more of an effort at the start of games to get him involved and just the Cooper Cup force feed him, whatever they got to do?
Bingo.
Okay.
Bacino.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check. I couldn't check in all last week. So
Amari Cooper is being a great professional by not throwing his coach under the bus. The things that I'm sure are crossing his mind, he is obviously holding back from saying because he's frustrated. And his frustration actually boiled over. At one point a couple weeks ago, his frustration boiled over. And he actually came out in public. He said that, he pretty much can't be who he is if he doesn't get the ball. And he can only control one aspect of that. When the ball comes his way, he catches it and he tries to make plays with it. I can't throw it to myself. Kellen Moore. And we drugged Kellen Moore last week. We called him out and told him to go find his another bag and fill it up and not Ziploc. I mean, a real bag. And he needs to force feed it. Yes, Cooper Cup style. Cooper Cup is valuable to the Rams as Cooper is valuable to the Cowboys. So why would you not ensure that your guy gets the ball? Because it doesn't just benefit him, it benefits your entire team. So if you're, especially like the Dallas Cowboys, even though they're up there in terms of running stats, we know what they're capable of running the ball. They haven't been up to that level. Our expectations, nor I'm assuming their expectations. So why wouldn't you utilize your guy who has ability to run past almost everybody on the field to get him the ball in his hands near the line of scrimmage? When you face the 49ers, I highly doubt that they're going to come up and press. I think they're going to try to take the same approach of bend but don't break because we know that Dak's going to try to throw the ball or Kellen Moore's going to put Dak in a position to throw the ball down the field. So let's play soft. They're not getting their guys the ball. I don't know why. These guys can make plays at the line of scrimmage, but they're just not doing it. So I think they need to find a way to get him the ball as they did a couple weeks back. And then when those guys decide to come up and press, please press. Please press. Please, we welcome that. CeeDee Lamb welcomes that. Amari Cooper welcomes that. Cedric Wilson welcomes that. Blake Jarwin, all those guys. Please compress those guys. So you have to force a team to respect you in that regard, though.
No, I love what you just went over and just saying that the infighting that he's avoided, and man, there have been lesser receivers that have done more by not getting the ball. I just think that, and I have it here, get Amari involved early. It's important that we do that, and I think Cooper Kupp is one of those examples of where do you position this guy. I don't put Cooper Kupp out on the outside. I put him in the slot. I allow him to go versus their weakest guy, or at least have the advantage of exposing the middle of the field. And that's where I think a lot we've gone away from that with Amari Cooper. We set him out on the outside, and now I believe if Kellen Moore is going to go in his bag it's going to be moving Amari Cooper around. We hadn't seen him do that much at all. And the same is going to be for CeeDee Lamb. And where do you position him? Where do you put him? Give him the advantage, especially with how weak they are on the outside. I just think it comes down to, and I'll say it again, the balance of this offense. What we haven't been, when we talk about those instances where Amari hadn't gotten the ball, we weren't balanced. There was no continuity at all. So therefore, the rhythm of the offense was off. The now fired Vic Fangio came up with the blueprint for how you beat Dak. And there's so many defenses willing to live and die with trying to, sugarcoat or say that they're in one thing at the line of scrimmage and then bail, right? That's a big ask for a defense that's already struggling on the back end. Now, Buda Baker and them could do that. There are other teams that are willing to do that, but you better be skilled as heck on the backside to do that. Because basically what you're doing is you're taking yourself out of position to show something different. And I think this is a defense that can't afford to try and fool Dak. But when you talk about CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, and Cedric Wilson, I think this offense, the defense of the 49ers, you could take advantage of them in the middle of the field. And those one-offs with those finding the guy in the mismatch is what you're going to be challenging Dak to do.
Dare I say this? And I don't want to give people any PTSD.
Say it.
This reminds me, this scenario is starting to look very
never mind, don't say it.
Yeah, very familiar to when I was here with Dallas and Terrell Owens.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing.
Was not getting the ball. He was being put in a position where he's always on the outside. I was in those meetings. I'm not going to disclose what was being said or
no, it's okay. He would tell us in locker room, move me around. Why don't you put me in the slot? Try to get me off the bracketed coverage.
Jason Garrett was calling the same 4 or 5 routes for him on the outside, and if you roll to a certain coverage, you now eliminate his opportunity to get the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I feel is starting to happen with Amari Cooper, and you're starting to see somebody who was very quiet start to not be so quiet because he's so freaking frustrated from being put in this little freaking bubble when he could be out there in the whole world.
But how big of an advantage is that going to be if you come into this game and 19 is moving?
Huge. Huge. But who's the pressure on? It's not on Amari Cooper. Who's it on?
Coaching staff.
Kellen Moore.
Yep.
And by the way, he said it as diplomatically as he could. He said, "Look, I know how great this team could be. I just want to help more. I want to be there on third down and red zone. I think I can help." That's the way he put it.
He's being
and he's right.
A professional.
Yeah, he's right.
And it kind of goes back to what you were saying real quickly before we wrap things up. You said yesterday that you thought the Cowboys were going to air it out. Does Amari Cooper, does that start with him?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You got to get all of your playmakers involved, and that's why I think that balance part of it is going to be important because if this turns out to be a track meet, right, and Dak is backing up and there's no they're not respecting your bootlegs or anything like that, then they're just pinning their ears back and coming after Dak, and that's how you keep them honest with staying balanced.
I know we have to get off the air. I want to ask this question to all you guys and Cowboys Nation. Do you feel as if the Dallas Cowboys offense takes Amari Cooper for granted?
No.
Not intentionally.
No.
I'm just straight up.
No, but I think schematically, and they did this with Garrett Linehan in the past, going back, we'll beat you in different ways, and we'll take what the defense gives us instead of, hey, we're going to dictate to you. I think sometimes they can get more into that instead of, hey, Amari's the best receiver on the team. Let's go feed him, like Shaq in the post. Let's get him going. Let's get him going.
Yeah. So you would say no.
I don't think so on purpose. No, I don't.
And there are teams, if you go to look at Green Bay, I mean, they force feed number 17 because that's all they have.
They got.
Yeah. Right. That's a great point.
And I've said here that I think that Kellen, he schemes plays, not players. And so if you have that many weapons as he has, it's hard to say, I'm just going to take this one component of our offense and we're going to feature that, knowing that you have CD, knowing that you had Michael Gallup as well, and also having Zeke as your running back and Tony Pollard.
Do you feel that same way about the Rams?
do I feel that same way? I think the Rams benefit just like New England did from the slot position all these years by having Cooper Kupp, so it's easier for them to be able to do that. And then, obviously, they lost guys at the beginning of the season, but then Odell Beckham comes in, and that opens up.
Van Jefferson, and
Van Jefferson isn't the same as CeeDee Lamb. They're not on the same playing surface.
No. I didn't say that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Cooper Kupp is elevated over their guys right now to a larger extent than Amari Cooper is elevated over CeeDee Lamb and, when healthy, Michael Gallup. That's my point, my counterpoint.
I guess my counterpoint to that was just that they have just as many weapons. That's all I'm saying.
They also don't have a run game either.
The Rams. Yeah, they have just as many weapons at the receiver position, in my opinion.
Us?
Yeah. I'm talking about in terms of quality receivers. Cooper Kupp, I'm not saying that. I'm not putting them neck and neck. We're not going to have that discussion right now.
No, I'm not.
But Cooper,
that's what I thought you were saying.
Hey, no, Cooper Kupp and Amari Cooper. Cooper Kupp and Amari Cooper pretty doggone good. Van Jefferson.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Odell Beckham. I think we all would agree that they're all pretty dang on good, right? So that's what I'm saying. McVay doesn't have a problem still getting his guys the ball.
Yeah. They don't have to share the wealth as much, I don't think, to keep people happy, because they don't have an Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield or a Tony Pollard in the backfield. They don't have those guys there as well. Cam Akers coming back certainly adds that as a potential, but they didn't have that throughout 17 games.
And they don't have a Schultzenegger either.
They got a Higbee.
Yeah. They got a Higbee. Higbee did score twice in that game. All right, that does it for us here on Thursday. Talking Cowboys presented by Tostitos. We will be back tomorrow, the first ever playoff edition of Say It With Your Chest Friday.
How about those levels?
Bring the heat, bring the fire, Cowboys Nation, much like we will get you ready for Sunday as Talking Cowboys is back on Friday. Chris Beam, Rob Phillips, Heckman Harrison, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!